Welcome to another Sims 4 video. Today I'm building a new hospital so that when my Sims have a baby, we can go somewhere new. So if you have the Sims 4 Get to Work, you'll know that obviously there's the interactive careers of the detective, the doctor, and the scientist, but I have never built my own hospital in the game. I've done the police station before, many years ago. I kind of want to do another one, to be honest. But I've never done a hospital and I've never done the science lab either, so maybe we'll do that next. But anyway, the reason I really wanted to do the hospital now is because, especially in my current Let's Play, we're having a lot of babies all the time, and every time we go to the hospital, it's kind of sad. Like, honestly, I don't actually think the default hospital is that bad. Like, the layout is actually pretty good. The outside actually looks pretty nice. I'm just bored of it. You know, it's been how many years now? 7 years, 6 years, something like that, since that was in the game. And it's always been the same on my save game. So I was like, it's time we finally build something new. So we're starting off here. You might have seen I've got a few objects around the edge of the lot. When you build a hospital or a police station or the science lab, because these are like hidden lots, you can only go to these if you're in the career or if you're, in this case, having a baby at the hospital. They aren't regular lot types. And that means when you're building here, it doesn't give you the list of requirements in the game. So you either have to look it up online, or what I did is I just kept all the exact same items that was in the original hospital. So we have all the same amount of stuff, but I'm just sort of rearranging it and building something new. Anyway, as for the actual build, what I'm doing is all these hospital beds, they were originally in individual rooms. I think there was 2 beds in each room, which I think is totally fair for like if you're doing a short stay kind of hospital. But the way the hospital in The Sims 4 kind of works is almost like an ICU or like an emergency room setup where the patients come in, you run the tests, and then they're out, you know, they're off to the next thing or whatever. So to me, it kind of makes more sense to have like a ward set up. So all, I think the 6 beds are in the same room, and we set up this sort of drawer curtains like you'd see in any sort of hospital. And right now I'm just doing one little, I guess, a little room cubicle area, and then I'm going to do the same design for all of them. You know, different layouts and stuff, different positions of items, but I'm just figuring out what's going to work. Now, the other important thing that I wanted to do with this hospital is make it only base game and only Get to Work. So if you have this expansion pack, you can download this. You don't need anything else, just base game and Get to Work. So basically, if you want a new hospital, you can use this because, you know, if you needed other packs, I feel like that'd be kind of annoying. I mean, yeah, I could have done more with it, but the other goal that I had in mind for this is I wanted it to be pretty optimal in terms of gameplay. Like when you know how Sims are. They take forever to go do stuff and walk around. So as much as I could, I tried to make this place compact. It's actually not that small. I think it is probably a similar size to the original hospital, but I think I try to work hard on the layout so that you didn't have to spend ages going everywhere to do stuff. So what I did do is I actually spent about 3 hours playtesting this build in the Doctor career, and I actually made that as a members only video. So if you want to see a bonus gameplay video where we play the Doctor career and we test out this hospital, and I actually make some changes in that video, you can click the join button, become a member. That video will be out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, what I'm saying is I did fully playtest this in the actual Doctor career, not just having a baby, but I played as a doctor to make sure all the beds worked, all the machines worked, everything made sense in the layout that it was, that we had all the required items. And when I did that, I did find there was a few things that I needed to change and reorganize to make it make sense and make it work. So that was a really good thing. I'm really glad I did that because I especially have not played the Doctor career in a long time. And I don't even remember if we ever played it fully. Like I might have dabbled in it, but this one I played through and made sure everything worked. So that's good. So I'm glad I did that because otherwise I didn't really know what I was doing. Anyway, at this point in the build, I'm still, as you can see, working on the layout, trying to figure out where everything's going to go. And you might have noticed just before, I actually have 2 entrances, and that was just a little bit of fun. You know, a lot of this build, I'm making it, optimal for The Sims 4. And The Sims 4 hospitals are not like real hospitals at all. However, with the entrance, I kind of made it a little bit more, well, realistic, not really, but one side is supposed to be like the emergency entrance and the other side's like the main entrance. That was kind of the idea there of having the two different entrances. So that was just a fun little detail to add out the front. But then the rest of the build is obviously very Sims 4 in terms of, you know, what you need and what we have to put in. So if you are thinking this is some sort of realistic hospital, it is not trying to be. It is trying to be a functional and decent looking hospital to play the game in. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, we have the main entrance there, as you saw. We have like the big hospital sign there. I thought this diagonal wall was actually quite nice, just to make it a bit different, because I think the original hospital had some nice diagonal walls too. Like I said, it was a kind of one of the better builds that EA has done, to be honest. Like, it's actually not bad. The only thing is maybe the interior is a bit bland in terms of furnishing, but they have to do that to keep it, you know, possible to run on everyone's computers. So I don't blame them for that, but it was not a bad build, to be honest. And at the end of this time lapse, I will go into the game and I'll show you how to, you know, place this lot down, because it is weird and you do have to enter some cheat codes to be able to place new lots. So I'll show you how to do that at the end of this. And we'll also be able to see the original hospital, so you get a reference of what I'm actually talking about. So yeah, here we've got the two surgery machines, which is where you actually give birth, or as a doctor, you obviously perform surgery on patients. So those are at the back of the hospital, which is still pretty easy to get to. So you can see there's a huge big hallway that runs straight down the middle, so it's a straight shot there. I think it is a little closer than in the original hospital. Not entirely sure, but I found it fine, to be honest. And then these are the two x-ray rooms, which I did place everything without move objects to make sure that it all worked. But I did find out in that members only playtest video that these x-ray machines, I think they actually would have been fine, but they are bugged. You know, a Sims 4 bug, surprise, surprise. But there is a workaround, so it's all good. But anyway, the point of me saying that is I actually made those two x-ray rooms a lot bigger. Which actually worked out in the benefit, because one of the things you have to do in the doctor career, your Sims have to often like wash their hands or use the chemical analysis machine or use a computer to either log results or research stuff. So by making those x-ray rooms bigger, I actually fit a bunch of extra stuff in there. So we have a bunch of sinks, chemical analyzers, computers all around the hospital. So it means that, number one, you don't have to worry about the machines being taken up, because for some reason Sims are addicted to computers and chemical analyzers, especially at this hospital. So we have loads of them everywhere, so we don't have to worry about that being an issue. As you can see, that's why I'm putting sinks in a lot of rooms as well, is because one of the tasks is for your Sim to go wash their hands constantly. At least at the lower levels. Once you get promoted up higher, it didn't seem to come up as often, but at least at the entry level, that was a very common thing that we had to do. So I made sure that was available. And then these surgery rooms, I try to make them look a little bit more interesting. I know they don't look it right now. Later on, as we get through the build, we'll see it develop a bit more. But because I use this in my Let's Play, my camera is always in there when we're doing the filming of the Let's Plays. Like, I kind of wanted the room to look a little bit nicer. So we do actually some nice wood paneling, some different flooring, you know. I think it looks kind of nice in the end. It's actually not too shabby. So you'll see that develop as we go on. But again, yeah, as you can see, these rooms both have sinks and computers. So there's plenty of those available around the place. And we also make sure to do there's a couple of bathrooms in the middle of the building. We do another couple on the other side. I think the original only had like one bathroom, which was kind of annoying when you're playing the doctor career. So, I mean, I don't know how much they play tested it, but I feel like they could have had a more optimal layout. Now, this is also maybe a bit weird for a hospital, but I am putting showers in here. And let me tell you, it's actually very useful, because sometimes my Sim was stinky and I needed a shower. But there are treadmills, like one of the examination rooms is using the treadmill for the patients. Not that they need a shower, but for some reason, the original hospital had a gym in it. And I thought that was because playing as a doctor, we'd get, use the treadmill to exercise as a work task, because you do actually get that, I think, sometimes in the detective career. And the original hospital did have a gym, so I was like, okay, well, we probably need showers for my Sim, but I never got the task to work out in the gym. But anyway, having said that, we have showers for that reason. Whether you need them or not, I don't know, but if your Sim is stinky during the workday, you can have a shower, so that's handy. Now, here in the main hallways, you can see I did a little snack area. That is because some of the daily tasks are to actually grab a snack between seeing patients. and also grab a coffee. So I did end up putting a coffee machine and the fridge there. And then we actually have a full-size cafeteria as well with dining tables and all that on the other side of the building, which we'll see in a little bit. So there are a few places to grab snacks and coffee. Again, trying to make it accessible so nothing you have to walk too far from. Whenever I do these builds where we're sort of designing for an active career, or like when we built the high school, I'm building it from the perspective of I want this to be as little trouble for my sim to do stuff as possible. So in the case of the high school, I put everything on one side of the high school, so there's very little walking. And that's kind of the same in this. And having said that, there is a lot of walking because the rooms have to be quite big because all the machines are pretty big. And we have 2 of each machine because if another doctor is taking up a machine, it's annoying. So having at least 2 is good. And that's what the original hospital had as well, was a 2 of each machine. So that's what we did. So yeah, the hospital is still fairly big, but all the exam rooms you can see are on that side of the hospital. And over here is the cafeteria, and the gym, which is stuff you don't really need because we have the snack bar in the middle of the hospital, which is closer. So all the stuff that we're actually using to treat patients and do the career are close together. And in playtesting, let me tell you, it was really, really handy. It was so handy having it all there. And actually, I added more stuff even closer in the playtest because of that reason as well. I was like, okay, this is just annoying. We need to add the items a little bit closer together. Now, the hospital color scheme, you can see, has started to take shape here a bit. We've got like green, like hallway flooring, which I thought was actually, I don't know, I kind of liked it. It's a get to work flooring, because obviously this is just base game and get to work. So I was trying to use stuff from get to work to make it look a little bit more, I guess, unique from just a base game build. So that's why we use that flooring. Also, it does obviously suit a hospital. And then we've got some of that wood paneling around the hospital too to break up the walls. We've got this sort of two-tone checkered flooring as well, which I actually quite like, to be honest. I do think it all fits the vibe of the hospital very nicely. So at this point, I think I was, so I added a door to the back of the ward there because I actually wanted a door to leave at the back of the hospital, because outside here I actually did an outdoor little dining spot, or just like picnic tables and stuff later on. And I thought it might be weird to just have a glass door opening directly from the ward. So that's why I turned it into a part of the hallway, because it made a bit more sense. Over here is a couple of bathrooms, which I imagine as like staff bathrooms because it's coming off the gym. As you can see, it's sort of all the way around the back here. It's not easy to get to. Sims don't autonomously really use that bathroom, which is fine. It was only there because I thought we needed the gym. But again, I didn't really have any work tasks to use the gym, so whatever. But it's there, so I guess it might come in handy. Who knows? Might come in handy. So at this one, as you can see, I'm just trying to figure out the lighting, and it is a hospital, so I'm just trying to make it really bright. Like as bright as possible, so it's not dark and dingy. So that there is the cafeteria with the blue sort of tile wall, or I guess more like aqua teal. It's more of an aqua, which I quite liked actually. So this is another little snack area which has a coffee machine. I nearly forgot to put in a microwave actually. I don't remember. I think the original hospital had a microwave. I nearly forgot to put one in here. I don't know if you need it, but it does help when you're grabbing some snacks and stuff. So that I did put that in, and then got a few dining tables. And I think, so this I set up to actually look out, sort of more focused towards looking out the windows. And I think I put a TV in there maybe at some point, because we don't have any TVs in the hospital anywhere. Or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I know I wanted to put a TV in, but I don't know if it ever fit. So, maybe I put it in the waiting room. I don't know. Well, we'll see it. We'll do a tour at the end so we can see it all. The gym is pretty basic. We just got a couple of treadmills, and I think we do some weights machines and the punching bag as well. So there's a variety of machines, but we never used it, so I don't know the point of it. Anyway, the little waiting room at the front here is really basic. Now, I didn't, and again, because this is for, a replacement hospital, there's already like a lot of stuff in here. I do also want it to run pretty well. Like, I don't want to over clutter it. I didn't want to do a bunch of clutter everywhere in the hospital to like really fill it in. So like the waiting room here at the front is basically just those benches and then the front desk. And then there's like, I think like that notice board on the wall over there, and that's kind of it. So it's pretty, I was going to say sparsely furnished, but that makes it sound bad. It's pretty, I guess, deliberately furnished in a way that it is not overcluttered. Also in a way to stop Sims getting stuck on stuff. Like, I didn't want it to be crammed in and your Sims not be able to walk around and all that. So I kept it pretty pretty open in that sense. And also it's a hospital, so you don't really want clutter. I feel like it'll just get dusty. Now at this point, we're figuring out the roof because we've got a big flat building. I was not even considering the exterior of the building at all whilst I was building the layout because I was quite frankly a little overwhelmed. I was thinking about it when I was building. I was like, if I build the exterior first, I just know that the layout is not going to work. That works in houses for me personally. When I build a house, I usually build the exterior first, then figure out where it all fits on the inside. However, with a hospital, number one, I haven't built one before in The Sims 4, so I didn't really know what to expect when I was doing it. I didn't know how big I needed it to be. And I was just like, I need the layout of this to be the priority over the exterior shape and all that. So I was like, okay. At this point, I was like, now I've got to figure out how this roof is going to work because we just got a big box, got some curved platforms and walls and roofs, and that's what I'm playing around with here, trying to figure it out. I was like, maybe a curved roof there. I was like, that looks terrible. So I pretty much kept it as flat areas of roof at different heights, and I actually think it turns out pretty good. I'm honestly quite happy with it. So I'm using, as you can see, that little fencing just to create rooms and flooring. That's why I'm using it, just to cut into certain places. And this basically using a wall like this will create flooring. So it's like an actual roof piece that we can move up and down with the platform tool. So you can see it's one big room now. That just makes it easier to work on the flat roof rather than it not being a room, if that makes sense. So yeah, like I said, we did a few different heights of stuff. So like the curved section to a certain height, then we have a middle section of the roof that's a little bit higher. I actually add a second story onto the canteen, not as an accessible story, but a decorative second story. Same with this little bit here. I thought it might be a good way to have a big hospital sign on the back of the building, which for some reason, the back of the hospital is the direction that the gallery takes a photo from. So it doesn't look as good as it actually does in the game because it takes a photo of the back and the back just... I don't know, I made the front look better. Anyway, yeah, this is the cafeteria, which I made 2 stories high, which I actually think looks really nice. I was quite pleased with that, to be honest. I used the bigger windows downstairs, and I think I actually added an exterior door there as well, so you can walk out the side. The thing is, I did add a few doors around the building so your Sims can walk outside and all that. However, when you're here, you're kind of busy doing doctor stuff or whatever your job task is. You never really wander around like outside at all. So I don't know how useful all those other doors are, but they are there. You can get out if you want to. And yeah, so now I'm just kind of working on the landscaping and the exterior. I kind of like these planter boxes around the building where we just have blank walls with no like windows or anything. Just having some hedges in there looked quite nice. And then, yeah, you can see the roof, how the roof has come together here. We've got the sort of diagonal section going in, and we have a lower flat section here, which I'm just, again, sort of wrestling with the, the flooring tools and the fencing tools to get the shape that I wanted. And then I think, yeah, so the color I liked the green idea that we had on the inside with the green flooring. I was like, I do want that element of green on the outside, and we've used it, mixed it with that sort of tan brick as well. So we've got a green, tan, and I think maybe white probably as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's, yeah, a mix of those 3, and I think it actually turns out pretty nice. Like, it's a nice small hospital. I could see this being a small town, like maybe not a hospital, even for a small, I guess it would have to be a very small town hospital. Otherwise, maybe just a clinic or something. It's pretty small. But for Sims, this is a big build. So, you know, this is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much the building. And then moving on to making it actually look good, because having flat shapes is all well and good, but, you know, we need to do the flooring and make it make sense. I was originally sort of doing this gravel flooring, which I didn't, like, I like the idea of gravel on the roof, but it didn't make sense. So you can see on the second level, I've got gravel in those lower bits, but then the big flat roof is all concrete tiles, because I think that makes more sense. Like, they might do gravel in those flat areas that are sort of fenced in, and then concrete tiles on the rest of the stuff. And I think that actually worked out pretty well. Just doing the rest of the exterior coloring. Actually, these planter boxes, I did white bricks, which I thought looked quite nice as well. Yeah, but pretty much everything now on the outside anyway is purely decorative, because like I said, during the workday, your Sims don't even really go outside. Like, I think my Sim did once, and then I told them not to because I was busy. They went outside to autonomously use the barbecue, I think. I did put a barbecue out back. Don't know if that was the best idea. If it becomes it only became a problem once for me, and I just had to tell my Sim not to do it. If it becomes a problem in your Let's Plays, maybe remove the barbecue. There is a barbecue at the back, and it is what it is. Yeah, so now we just have this big blank lot outside. So we're going around. I'm taking inspiration from the original hospital that did just have these sort of square planters around the place. And actually, if you look at the world behind us, it's kind of hard to see, but there are just, you know, big square planters around the place. So I'm just trying to figure out, play around with a few different designs, what's going to work and what's going to make sense. We have the original hospital sign there as well, as you can see, sitting in that one. And then I'm just trying to figure out a good layout around the building. Like I'm having pathways all the way around it. Again, not that the Sims are really going to use these pathways, but they are there to look good. And I think it does help it blend in with the world pretty well, as you can see it coming together here. And then, yeah, just doing the last little landscaping, but I think we may as well go ahead and jump into the game now so I can give you a tour of it, because this is just, you know, placing a few little plants and stuff. Okay, well, despite the weather not being very nice, this is the default in-game hospital. Like I said, it's actually not that bad. It's a pretty good build for a default build if you never want to change it. Anyway, inside, like I said, it's actually not a bad layout. They got the main beds over there, surgery back over there, the sort of exam stuff in the middle, a couple of the chemical analyzers there. And then, yeah, like I said, they have the gym and stuff over here. But for some reason, they have one bathroom here, and the only door to it is from the entrance. So if your sim is at the gym and they need to go to the bathroom, they have to like leave, walk all the way around, walk down here, walk up and around, and then eventually get there. Not great having the bathroom super far away from where your sim is going to be working as well. Likewise, if you get, see, look, we got the wash hands task. If you have to wash your hands and you're seeing patients and you get that task, you have to walk all the way over here to go to that, you know? And even when so if you take a swab from a patient as well, which is one of the tasks, you have to then analyze it. And then sometimes from there, you have to log it on the computer. But you can see they've only got a computer here and here, and I think there's one over here. The main desk one is always taken. And there's only 2 analyzers, which usually get taken up as well. So anyway, knowing all that, it's not the worst build. It's functional, it works. Not ideal. To place custom hospitals, what you got to do, open the cheat window, bb.enable free build, hit enter. Then you can jump into build mode, and we're going to go to the gallery to grab my one. So I've called it Regional Hospital. My gallery ID is just here, James Turner YT. Should be able to find it that way. You can see it only requires get to work. So we're going to go ahead and just click place. We're going to say furnished, and going to keep it as a medical clinic lot type and click OK. And this will replace it. All good. All right, so here is my hospital, and you can see the finalized landscaping around the place. Like I said, kept it pretty simple, just big grass planters around the place. A lot of them just have grass in it. We've got some tree lines down the side. Around the back, we have a few little flower planters. Got another hospital sign there. This is like the little picnic area I was telling you about as well. A few tables, a barbecue, a bin there. Nice little planter there as well. That's where the gym is underneath. And then this is the other side here. And there's actually a door into the cafeteria, which I actually really like. A sort of double height ceiling for the cafeteria space there. So yeah, that's the exterior of the hospital, which I'm pretty happy with, all things considered. It's just a big flat roof, but I think it looks great. I'm super happy with it. So let's have a look through the hospital. This is our main entrance. All the patients sort of come in here and just stand around waiting to be admitted to a bed. So you got the main check-in desk there. And then you got the main hallway, you can see coming through the middle, which will lead to the treadmill rooms, the surgery rooms, and also the x-ray rooms over that side. And to get to the ward, the patients will normally go through this door, then that one just here. And then this is where we have all the beds, which I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this space. It's all fully functional. So we do have a bunch of sinks around. So there's a sink here. We've got a chemical analyzer hiding in the corner here and a computer just here. So it means you can actually swap, like take a swab from a patient here, analyze, computer, and go back to them. All really close. And if you need to wash your hands, just there. We have a few of those around the place too. There's another, oh, there's supposed to be a sink there. I don't know if that got deleted before or after I placed it. That ain't good. I'll make sure that's in. That might have been like deleted and I didn't notice, so I'll put it back in now. Yeah, so we've got a sink there as well, a couple of beds. We got the new x-ray rooms. These did change, like I said, so they are a bit bigger and they have the chemical analyzers in those rooms too. And they both have sinks and bins. And then these are the surgery room slash delivery room if you come have a baby. I think this looks so much better than the existing one, so I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And these have a little fridge in it, the chemical analyzer, computer, a sink as well. So you can come in here and do a bunch of work as well on your work day. So that is the surgery room, and the other one is exactly the same. And then we have the treadmill lab room. Come do experiments in here. Experiments? That's probably not the right word. Tests? Yeah. examinations. Anyway, another chemical analyzer, as you can see just there, computer and a sink. So it's all, again, close by if you're needing to work here. And yeah, there's that little sort of snack bar area there. So it's a little closer than all this stuff over here because you do often need to get snacks, and that's just much closer to everything. I mean, that's pretty much the hospital. This is like the emergency entrance here. So it's a little bit more direct. So in an emergency, you'd come in here and you go straight through this door to the ward. I guess if you wanted to make your hospital even more efficient, you could move the check-in desk to here and then wait here and just go straight in. But I kind of like it working like this, and I didn't have any problems with it. There's some of these missing here too. A few items deleted. I don't know if that happened just now or before. Oh yeah, I did do a TV there. I don't know if they'll use that, but it's there. And yeah, then the little gym there, little bathrooms over this side, and that's pretty much the hospital. You know, it's got everything you need. I fully play tested it. Like I said, thanks to the higher tier members for supporting the channel. The playtesting video will be posted members only tomorrow, so check back members for that, where I do 3 hours of gameplay. It's a 30-minute video that's edited down from 3 hours of me testing, getting promoted, working, adjusting and tweaking the hospital, but it all works great. I'm super happy with it. If you want to download this, like I said, click the link down below or go to my gallery ID, which is James Turner YT, or you might be able to search regional hospital, that's the name of it, but there might be a lot of them called that. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time and have an awesome day.